Welcome to the Matt Cottrell Report. These are the extraordinary stories of everyday, ordinary individuals. Today's guest is a San Angelo native singer-songwriter who's experiencing phenomenal success and has just come out with a new single called It Won't Matter Anyway. He's been on American Idol, and it's only up for here for my friend, Mr.
To you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. So, man, you're like a local legend now. You're
like Willie
becoming one.
Nelson. Yeah.
Exactly. So, a lot of people might not know this, but you're born and bred in San Angelo, Texas, right?
That's right. My family, we've all lived around here for, my parents, they were around college age when they moved here.
Yeah.
So they've been here for going on be about 30 years, and I've been here for almost that. So yeah,
nice.
It's been a great place to call home. My family ranches here, and we'd go from
Sorry, going. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Live going.
We'd go from town to town rodeoing, even as at a young age. So, but they always called San Angelo home. So we've been here for a long time, and the people are great. It's a great place to live. I went to school at Central High School, and I still see all of my friends from Central.
What year did you graduate?
I'm a 13 guy.
13.
So
I graduated in 04. Nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, Central was great, and I know a lot of people. Of course, I have friends that went to Wall, and they went to Christoval and Miles, but and they always, a lot of my friends from Christoval, like, man, why didn't you finish out here at Christoval?
Yeah.
Like, I had a great time at Central. The people were great, and it kind of opened you up to the college experience.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
That's what I love about it, and the people were all friendly and nice.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm all about. If you're a good person, that's what I want.
I love that, dude. Yeah. So before we get into, I want to talk a little bit about your background.
Sure.
But before we do, let's talk about the new single.
Absolutely.
So it's called. What's it called again?
It Won't Matter
It Won't
Anyway.
Matter Anyway. Yeah.
That's right.
Man, it's good. So how is it doing?
So right now we're doing good. I'm having a blast. We just released a music video with it.
Yeah, it's good.
And
talk about where y'all did that.
Yeah, we did the music video over at Raw 1899, just right up the road, downtown San Angelo. Kind of off camera, I was talking about how I try to incorporate San Angelo in like every integral piece that I put together. So San Angelo it means a lot to me. It's my home and home to 100,000 other people, and it's a great place to live. I know a lot of people that have moved away and they come right back just because it's an awesome place.
It is.
I love San Angelo.
Yeah. You think you'll continue doing that though, incorporating San Angelo into the stuff that you do into your content?
Absolutely.
That.
I'm like like an old man, you know. Every I don't really variate a little from anything that I do, and so as long as I can keep things in San Angelo, I want to do that because your neighbors benefit from it, stimulates the economy, and also it's my home. I got to come back to it, and I want to be in everyone's good graces. So everybody's done great work for Case Hardin Music, and I want to continue to do the same for the city of San Angelo.
Very cool, man. We're proud to have that.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm just a kid having fun these days, and San Angelo is where I started, so why not try to keep it in the same vein of of authenticity? San Angelo ranching kid, and he likes to incorporate the city of San Angelo.
What did your parents do?
So my dad, growing up, he was for the longest time he was a saddle bronc rider for the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. And went. I mean, he was great in the heyday of of country music and rodeo in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s.
Wow.
And so he got a lot of friends in the rodeo world. And but then when he started to get a little older, he started to do government work for the USDA.
Oh, interesting.
And so we have a lot of family from around Ozona and the Sonora Way and Del Rio and Comstock, if anybody knows where that is. But that's primarily where he got to go and work for the USDA, was down in those neck of the woods. Government trapping and things like that. But it was great because you got to do all that horseback, and I know that he really loved to do that. And my mother, for the longest time, was there's a red rock place right on Bryant. It's right across from the old Enterprise and Desiree's. And it's a red rock building that used to be a State Farm Insurance. And my mother was with State Farm Insurance for as long as I was a child, you know. And then whenever she got diagnosed with melanoma in late 2000s, and so she ended up having to step away from that job, and she started actually working for herself. Now she's over at the Chicken Farm Art Center.
Oh, cool!
Little shameless plug there.
Yeah, no, they're great. Yeah.
At the Chicken Farm Art Center, she has an embroidery business that she runs real well.
Cool.
But of course my granddad's got the ranch north of town, in between San Angelo and Robert Lee. So. Nice. A lot of English and Brangus and Angus cows get run out there. And so we try to. It's just a big old conglomerate. Everything that everybody's doing business here these days in the city of San Angelo, and I would like for Case Hardin Music to be able to do the same.
For sure, yeah. Did you do any rodeoing when you were growing up? Did you compete at all?
I'll tell you what, I tried. I tried my best.
What'd you do, saddle bronc, or did you rope, or what?
There's a San Angelo Standard Times article from early 2000s, and they entered. My dad had won the San Angelo rodeo here, and they had interviewed him and said, you know, hey, is Case going to be following in your footsteps and do saddle bronc? And they interviewed me, and I said, God, no.
You didn't want to?
I'll be a doctor before I do that. And so
I don't blame you.
But my granddad, he's a pickup man for the Cowboys Professional Rodeo Association, the CPRA, and for the longest time was a pickup man for the PRCA, Bad Company Rodeo, all those. And when he was picking up, he wanted me to pick up, which basically worked for the stock contractor. And any rough stock event, you ride up right next to the bucking stock, get the contestant off, pop the flank, and then lead the horse back in to the back pins. But so I wanted to whenever I was in high school. And that's about as far as it went. My dad sent me to several team roping clinics, and I can promise you, like my friends over at Bruton Trailers and the Bowers, they're much better team ropers than I will ever be. So
it wasn't your thing.
Singing country music's where I belong.
Well, tell us. So how did you get into? When did you first pick up a guitar, and how did you know that that's what you wanted to do?
So I started whenever I was in 8th grade. I found in my closet. I found this like shoe box tote full of change, and I wasn't really sure. I was a weird kid, I guess. I like to collect pennies and coins and stuff, and and so I took that and took it to the bank and to the First National Bank of Mertzon, and I had them count it, and I had enough for a Yamaha acoustic guitar, and I had like $350 in change, and so I bought a Yamaha a Yamaha acoustic guitar, and started playing it. Wanted to really impress people, particularly in the female variety, and so I really wanted to impress them in 8th grade, and so 2009 I started picking, and I taught myself. I went and bought those giant science fair trifolds. And I started writing the lyrics and the chords and what the chord progressions look like with a hand. And, so I taught myself how to play guitar.
Interesting. Yeah.
You ask anybody in my band, I still don't know how to play the guitar.
So you just started learning some chords and some different things. And what about? Did you know you could sing right off the bat, or is that something you had to kind of hone over time?
So it's weird. It's almost like a God sent thing. In 2005, I was in 4th grade, and we had this play, this like history Texas play that Miss Debbie Lopez put on, and anyway, if it was like a musical. It's a kids musical, and that's typically how elementary school productions go.
Yeah, I was in one of those. We called it the opera.
And this one just was about the history of Texas. Cool. And so I got to play the part of Sam Houston, and it had my little musical number, and never sang before in my life. And I sang during that part and tried to mirror whatever the original demo of the song was, and had all these compliments. Of course, as a kid, your vocal cords are like think of Justin Bieber back in the day. Right. You could do anything you wanted to with your vocal cords. And so through the years, over fourth grade to high school, I tried to keep your vocal cords fresh and keep using them all the time, because if you don't use it, you tend to lose it. And but I knew I had an ear for music, because I could match the so say your pitch was here, here's where you needed to be, and I could find that pitch. And so I knew it was something I definitely wanted to do, but I wasn't really sure if I could with a band, and or even sing in front of people. And so Central High School, there's still a championship banner with the FFA, with the ag department there at Central. As a matter of fact, I texted my old ag teacher, Miss Kellemeyer, the other day just to see if she still had it. And there's a championship talent FFA flag from whenever I did FFA talent to try to see if I could sing in front of people and get all the jitters out.
How'd it go?
It was great. We got the championship in. So that's the whole point of being able to sit out there and sing and get in front of people and take home a championship at the end of the day. That's all you can ask for.
So then how did that progress to you trying out for American Idol? Some people might not know that you did that.
That's a good question. That's perfect leadway. So after FFA, it's like I could get used to this singing in front of people thing. And I started a band with some of my high school buddies that, in one of my science classes, I'd ask a guy like, hey, can you play bass? And he was like, well, I own a bass. I don't really play, but I own it. And I'm like, man, you're hired. Get in here. And so I that's how the band started.
Okay.
And we were terrible. We were awful. And so I was like, well, we're not really going anywhere quick, so I'm going to try out for this American Idol thing. I saw that they were having tryouts in San Angelo.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
Fox West Texas was putting it on. They had the tryouts, and we had it in the mall there, and it was me and another local girl that lives around here, Jessica Bailey. I think she might live in Austin.
She's a good friend of mine. She's Jessica Forsyth now. We graduated together. She's a good friend of mine.
Jessica was there with me, and we both ended up making it through to the Austin round. And so we got pushed through to Austin. And
real quick, do you remember what you sang? Song?
I do.
What was it?
Working on My Next Broken Heart by Brooks and Dunn.
Oh, awesome. Did you played too and sang?
I did.
Okay, yeah.
I did. Of course, the one here in Angelo, you had like a prelim, and then you had a secondary to move on through. So I did The Race Is On by George Jones and Working on My Next Broken Heart by Brooks and Dunn.
Nice.
But I kept that Working on My Next Broken Heart by Brooks and Dunn like through the Austin round, through the Hollywood rounds, through and every chance I got to be televised. And of course, they only televised the one portion of it, because who wants to hear a kid sing "Working on My Next Broken Heart" 10 times in a row? But it was great. It was a lot of fun.
How many rounds did you get through?
So we went 9. We went 9 rounds.
Seriously, I didn't know that.
It was a blast. Yeah, I remember the final day, because it was Keith Urban, Harry Connick Jr., and Jennifer Lopez were the judges. And so the very last time that I was voted off the island or whatever, Harry Connick Jr., he still said, "Love your sound, love the traditional country, keep it going." And
was this in Hollywood?
So this is in their Hollywood rounds. That's right. So they not yet to the live performances, but we were real close. But Keith Urban and Jennifer Lopez, they were basically moving on to a different type of the country music vein, other than the traditional country side. So I'm a traditional country guy, I'm really bad at changing. And so
I like that though.
I keep it the same old traditional country that I know, and And so that whenever I got voted off and they were looking for a different type of country singer, I went home and I slept for like 3 days.
Dang,
it was great. It was the big thing is they keep you all day every day from like 5 a.m. to 11 p.m.
I can imagine.
And they just keep going and it's fun while you're there, but then when it's time to go home, like it's time to go get some rest.
Yep.
And then after that, when we got done with American Idol, it was San Angelo was so cool about it. Everybody was super supportive over everything. Cool. And it was neat to see. We had a coming home party here at the house of Fifi Dubois down the street.
Nice.
And it was neat. But people ask all the time, would you ever do something like that again? And I'm just having too much fun going up and down the Texas country music circuit. So
right.
I don't know. I don't know if we have time for it anymore.
Right?
So but it was fun for a high school, college age kid.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think I could ever do it again.
Okay, that's cool. All right, guys. Well, you have to tune in to watch the rest. We're going to be releasing this episode later this week. So tune in. We'll see you later. Okay, you can end that thing. Oh, man, that's crazy. So we'll just keep going.
Absolutely.
So about that time, so after you did American Idol, what else was going on sort of in your life? You were at ASU, right? You said?
That's right.
What were you studying there?
I was in ASU at the in the political sciences pre-law department. So
did you want to be an attorney?
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
I figured out at an early age also that I was pretty good at arguing, and I was pretty hard-headed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And sorry, Fred Brigman, but some of the best attorneys are hard-headed and argumentative. So.
Yeah.
I really wanted to be an attorney and open a practice here in San Angelo.
Yeah.
And anyway, I had started looking into real estate law and contractual law and really liked what I was in my coursework at ASU. Loved all my professors, and I was able to do really well in my classes. So I thought, well, one or the other. It's always good to have a backup plan and have a degree. I went through ASU and was pursuing my pre-law degree and go to the law program at Texas A&M in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Okay.
But we ended up we were gone so much.
You were already touring and playing.
We were absolutely doing radio tours and playing shows all over the place, and so we were in, of course, recording and putting new music out there. You're gone for lengths of time, and so I ended up, because of the American Idol success, we were able to. I was able to sweet talk the Center for Student Human Performances, whatever it is down there at ASU, and they were gracious enough to send out an email to all of my professors for my whole tenure at Angelo State University, saying, due to Case Hardin's musical success on American Idol, he has other obligations, including but not limited to, and wherever I'd be gone to. And they were like, that being said, he may or may not be showing up to class. Just keep this in mind. And because of that, I had a free pass all throughout college, and it made it awesome. But I, of course, I ended up partying too much, back in my later college career. And
was it toward the end of college that you started kind of drinking a lot and partying a lot?
It was. I'd start drinking. It was my final senior year. I mean, it took everything I had to be able to cross that finish line.
Yeah, me too.
And it was. So we did. I got to walk across the stage, and one of my professors, he said, by God, Case, you finally did it. And so he shook my hand and walked off. And I remember my first day of college, I walked across a guy. He lives here in San Angelo, a guy named Wasey. And Wasey was like my parents' age. And I said, my God, Wasey, how long have you been here? And he said, I graduated this year. It's my 8th year. And it's like, well, that's crazy to me, And then here I am 6 years later at Angelo State University. I'm like, I'm turning into Wasey, Wasey and we always joke about it, but I had a lot of fun at college, and being able to shortly after that continue playing music after the graduation, and everybody being so supportive. That's what I love about San Angelo is everybody's so supportive.
That's
Even
right.
when I was in my high spot of drinking and going around playing shows, and that was everybody was still real supportive, and
that's cool, man.
It was neat. It kind of that ultimately the area support, community support, helped me to stop drinking, I guess.
If you don't mind, I'd like to talk about that a little. So you have been sober now. You stopped drinking.
Absolutely.
And how long do you have now?
So in September,
like 3 years, right?
In September, I'll be 5. So,
5, dude, that's incredible. Congrats.
Thank you. 9/9 of 2020. It was during the peak of COVID.
Yeah.
Nobody was playing music, and so and I heard this from several of my peers in the music industry.
Yeah.
Nobody was recording music because you couldn't go out there and promote it. Nobody was playing shows because nobody could be around each other. So the whole music business took a hiatus. With the exception of being on like Facebook and doing virtual concerts.
Yep.
I did 1 or 2 of those, and I'm like, what am I doing here? There's nobody there, of course nobody there, but on the other side there's people watching, but it's not the same, so because there was so much free time for a musician, I took to hanging out and paying the light bill over at Shenanigans, a sports bar here in San Angelo, and of course Blaine's too, and Whiskey River. So I had all this free time, and so I'd just go to the bar and hang out, and that created a really, really bad. It was an everyday occurrence, and then your body gets used to it because it's an everyday occurrence, and then you don't want to do anything else but drink a beer. Drink. At the time, we were sponsored by Pendleton Whiskey, and drink Pendleton Whiskey all day, every day.
Were you getting that free or something, like bottles of that or something?
So we were getting them basically free. It was stupid. And it was supposed to be for promotional things, but it was it was promoting Case Hardin and Case Hardin's personal life. Thanks, Pendleton.
So when did you know that it was out of hand and that it had become a problem and that your life had become unmanageable?
That was and I never really understood it. And there was a day that every day I thought, well, I wanted to, I'll quit this tomorrow. I don't have a problem. I can do this anytime I want to, and I would kind of think to myself, like, tomorrow I won't go do it.
Yeah.
But then next day I'd wake up and you have the shakes and the dry heaving and all that kind of stuff, and it's like a really bad hangover that doesn't go away for a few days. Well, the only way to fix that is to go drink a little more.
That's right.
And so I did, and I had gained a whole bunch of weight during those days. Because of the alcohol, and when you're drinking alcohol, you just your ambition, your goals, they just go right out the window.
Right. Yeah.
And I remember one time in particular, I thought, well, I got to go to AA. Everybody else is doing Alcoholics Anonymous, and that seems to work for them.
Yeah.
And then I got to thinking, well, God, this is going to be boring because it's not going to be sitting there with my buddies at the bar, watching a baseball game on TV. Yeah. So I would go to the store and pick up some college malt liquor called a Four Loco, and I'd slam one of those and go into the AA meeting.
Wow, yeah.
And that's counterintuitive. What are you doing? Yeah. So it was one day in particular that I thought, well, I got a problem, but I'll deal with it at some other time.
Exactly.
And so one day, I just call it divine intervention or whatever, whatever you believe. But that's what I see, is that it was a divine intervention. Yeah. I went to the doctor, and he said, like, your liver is starting to shut down.
Whoa.
And so I had the early onsets of cirrhosis, and so I went to the doctor, and I didn't really care all that much about it, because the only thing I cared about was getting a drink.
Mm-hmm.
And it absolutely killed my parents and my family. And it was that part was tough, but it wasn't tough enough to stop.
Right.
And so it was really something for me going back to the doctor again, him saying, you better stop or else. Mm-hmm. And I didn't. And he flat out told me, he said, well, Case, I'll get another patient. I'm not worried about that. Yeah. And so this is from me to you. You got to stop. And one day after all of that, still wouldn't stop. Months down the line, months, and I had sat there and I was at the bar and I had ordered a drink and I had drank a Pendleton whiskey neat.
Yeah.
And I'd sit there with it and I paid it out and I just, for whatever reason in my head, I said, I'm going to go to the hospital because this is about to hurt. And so I stopped, and that was on September 8th, 2020. And so I just stopped.
Really?
And I went to the hospital, checked myself in and
to detox.
Detox. And so they helped me detox for a few days. And then
hold on a second. Man, that's what's interesting is like there had to be something that happened after you had that drink where you were like, okay, I'm done. Like, what was it?
That's it. I sat there after it and paid out, and I said, this is about to hurt. And I called my mother and I said, I'm done drinking. But I'm at the hospital, and come on down here because I'm sure I'll be here a while.
Yeah.
And so I started going through there, and in the hospital they brought me in. It was pretty rough.
Yeah, dude.
It was after I didn't know it at the time, but that was after 3 years of continuous, every day, all day, every day drinking.
Yeah.
And so I had become one of those guys that don't call him after 2 o'clock in the afternoon because he won't make any sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I've always taken pride in being a guy that everybody wants to hang around with, and I was turning into that guy nobody wanted to hang around with. And one of my best friends, a guy named Jared Thomason, he was our road manager for a lot of years, and it was weird. The same thing happened to him. He had a Texas Ranger, was his Texas Ranger whiskey was his big deal, and he had a Texas Ranger whiskey, and he had drank some and put it up in his closet shelf and just said that was my last one, and detoxed himself, and to this day he's sober. So it's the Lord works in mysterious ways, and even without asking, I didn't have to ask, but without that I would have died. And after going through and cleaning myself out, not going to the bar anymore, not drinking, using any mind altering substances, anything like that. I went back to the doctor for a checkup after a couple years. It's probably about a year and a half, and they checked me, and my liver and kidney function and everything had made a full, as if I've never drank in my life.
Really?
So, therefore, I was able to start shedding the weight again, and I during my music career, I was a cool 175, 180 pounds, and I had gone into the upper 200s. I'd gained like 100 pounds because of the liquor and beer and all that. But I was able to, stop drinking, eating healthy, and then and go work out at the gym. Of course, my fiance, she kind of makes me jump on that treadmill. but it was because of the substance abuse and kicking it, and I feel better, and music has been greater than it's ever been.
Yes, I bet.
And a lot of other musicians are doing that. And of course, I know you've been on a journey
16
too.
months. Yeah.
See, and that's awesome. The first 12 months are the absolute hardest.
They
to me.
sure are. Yeah,
and
that's right.
I feel like every 12 months, of course now I don't see myself as 5 years down. I see myself as it's another year. Yeah. But I don't think about it.
I like that.
The rest of the band does. And they ask me, they say, do you ever think about it? Like, ever since the first 12 months, I haven't.
Wow. So you just don't even care about it anymore?
Not at all.
That is divine intervention, I feel like.
Absolutely.
God took it away from you. The desire, everything. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I went to, I stopped going to AA meetings after I got sober, just because I didn't feel like I needed to, so
some people don't,
and a lot of the guys at AA, they say be careful of that. Yeah. And so I ended up, I was leery of it, but for the first 12 months, it was tough, but make it day by day.
Yeah.
And, jails, institutions, or death.
That's
and
right. That's all it leads to.
That's what I was worried about getting into those first 12 months. But I got a mug shot for the city of San Angelo back in my drinking days.
You did? What'd you get arrested for?
Oh, it was public intoxication.
Okay.
Yeah. Public intoxication.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine and I were at the golf course, and nothing better than singing country music and then going to have a cold beer at the golf course. And so we went to golf, and anyway, it was on San Angelo Live. I didn't know that it was going to be published anywhere, and then the next day I look up and it's on San Angelo Live.
Crap,
and I texted Joe and I'm like, man, please, please help me. And he was gracious enough to help me and take it off.
Oh, that's nice.
But ever since then, I was like, I'm never coming back to this place. So we, I got my mug shot in.
Do you remember what happened at the golf course that you were so disorderly about?
It was a blackout day for sure. Yeah. I blame it on the sun, sleep deprivation and a heat stroke.
Right.
But it was a few too many cold Miller Lights.
Yeah. But I feel you.
They next thing I know, I have a kid I went to high school with at Central. He comes in and he says, hey, Case, come on, here we're going in my car.
Yeah.
And the whole time I just remember saying, we went to high school together, Zane. And of course, what's that matter? You're drunk in public. Get out of here.
Yeah.
But I have my war stories to look back on.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
Ever since then, I am eternally grateful that I was able to not drink anymore. Same for you. I know you just feel a whole lot better when you don't.
Yes, man. God had bigger plans for you.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
And look at all this.
That's
that
right.
after turning yourself around.
Yes, for both of us.
I know turning somebody that wants to turn themselves around. That's the key.
That's right. Yeah.
And there were a bunch of years my parents, they begged and pleaded, and I just as the alcohol, the devil talking, and just because you asked, I'm not going to.
Exactly right.
So it's you got to want to change, and
you got to want it. Yeah.
The divine intervention helped both of us change.
Yes, dude, that's really cool, man. I love hearing that. Dude.
Man, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to keep trucking, and now because of that, you're able to keep trucking. I'm able to keep trucking.
Yes, sir.
Trucking,
and look where we are now.
We'll just keep doing it. Yeah. Over the years, there's many more years of Matt and Case to come.
That's right. Yeah. So you brought the guitar, man. We'd love to hear you play something. You want to play something?
Absolutely. I'll get it out.
All right. Well, we're going to be right back, guys. We're going to hit a sponsor, and then when we come back, he's going to play something for us. All right. Stay tuned. Are you looking to elevate your brand with custom headwear? Custom business hats for high quality customized hats, perfect for any business need. Whether it's for company branding or distinctive merchandise, we ensure that your brand gets the attention it deserves. Plus, we offer free quotes to help you get started. Visit our website at custombusinesshats.com. Custom Business Hats. We've got you covered.
Turning the minute she's working her way across the floor. Low cuts painted on, dead legs swaying like you ain't seen before. And it drives me crazy, baby, when you're hanging on his arm. And don't you think you're way too good at playing with my heart? Well, come 3 a.m., you'll be at my door. You'll spend the night just like the night before. another shot of whiskey when the sweet burn hits me. See you out there shooting pool. And I know you're not about him, you just like to see me drowning, so I just play it cool. But I know later how you'll lay your head on my pillow, and I lay waiting for the day we tell each other no. Well, come 3 a.m. you'll be at my door. You'll spend the night just like the night before. When the lights come on, it'll be like yesterday, and it won't matter anyway. Well, come 3 a.m. you'll be at my door. You'll spend the night just like the night before. When the lights come on, it'll be like yesterday, and it won't matter anyway. No, it won't matter anyway. No.
Oh man, that's so good. Woo!
Thank
Dude,
you.
that's great.
Thank you.
Oh. Hey man, so you wrote that, huh?
So my friends and I, there was a group called Shotgun Rider back in the day.
Yeah.
And we had switched or swapped some songs around. I had a song called Lucky Him that they loved.
Yeah.
And they had a song called It Won't Matter Anyway that
Yeah.
I loved.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, all right, we'll make a deal.
Oh,
A guy
yeah.
named Logan and Anthony. Logan, they both live in Fort Worth now, but
Uh-huh.
they said, all right, we'll make a deal.
Yeah.
If we get to record Lucky Him,
Yeah.
you can record It Won't Matter Anyway.
Nice. Y'all swapped.
We swapped.
cool.
So
Yeah.
it was awesome. I loved the song from the start, and
Yeah.
I had already recorded Lucky Him, and my radio promoter,
I thought you had, yeah.
he said you're never gonna as far as any of the songs that we release, Lucky Him will not go out to radio. And it's like, I love that song. Why?
Oh, because of that?
And because of that, I said, well, he was saying it's too slow of a song to release to radio.
Oh, I see.
So we were talking to Logan and Anthony, and I was like, hey, my radio promoter's already told me that I won't be able to record it and release it to radio, so y'all try to do something with it.
Yeah, cool.
This It Won't Matter Anyway, we're looking hopefully to get I guess it'll be our 9th consecutive number one. Because right now we have 8 consecutive number ones on Texas radio.
Yes,
so,
dude.
It's
right.
crazy to think, like right here in San Angelo, you can pick up a guitar and at Tarpley Music,
I know,
and
right?
you can learn it, play it, and then have number one songs on Texas radio.
Dude,
It's
that
pretty
is cool.
It is.
That is cool.
Yeah, that's all you got to do is go grab a guitar and start playing.
Yeah. Man, that is cool. Yeah, you're right.
It's neat.
You're an example of that, right?
All you got to do is buy one.
Yeah.
Heck, if I did it,
That's
you
pretty
can
neat.
do it,
Yeah.
because I tell you what, there are some better folks out there at music than myself. So
that's
there's
neat.
so many kids coming up now, and even at San Angelo, we did a flood relief benefit the other
Nice.
day.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of kids that I had never known or heard of that are they're right here in San Angelo, and they're playing music, and they're good.
Wow,
They're really good.
yeah.
And of course they're like what I was back. Now I'm the old man, you know.
Yeah.
I'm the old man on campus
Yep.
in my late 20s.
Right.
But there's so many kids that are just now leaving high school, and
Yep.
they're playing and they're writing great songs. And
Wow. Yeah.
San Angelo, that's one thing that I've always wanted for San Angelo, is it to be like a live music
Me too.
hub.
Yeah.
And Lubbock is, and
Yep.
you got San Marcos, of course, and
yeah.
Austin, San Antonio, and Fort Worth. Why not San Angelo?
know.
So
We have so much talent here. You're
absolutely,
right. We really do.
And
yeah.
talking about Jessica earlier, she was a big proprietor of that.
Yeah,
Like
she
she
was.
loved
Yeah.
the San Angelo music scene. And so there's a bunch of great artists here, and there's some great musicians too. My whole band, I've been very fortunate with my band. They're awesome. They're great, and every single person is from right here in San Angelo.
That's cool.
So that's we're able to. A lot of these bands and musicians, they come in from, say, Houston or Corpus or San Antonio, and the band leaders in Fort Worth, and the singers in Lubbock. But everybody's right here in town, and it's truly it's just like a meant to be thing. So
I agree.
That's why I
cool.
love everything. I always tell people, if something doesn't work out right now, it works out the way it's supposed to.
That's right.
So I hope that means me playing music for a lot more time.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that, man. You want to play one more for us?
Let's play it.
All right, cool. Which one is this one?
This one, I started my music career, recording career, back in 2015, and still to this day I love playing this song. It's a song off the first record called Deep Blue Me.
All right, nice.
It's like being on an ocean and barely hanging on. It's been wave on wave of loneliness since you've been gone. Praying you'll come to my rescue and everything will be alright, 'cause I'm in troubled waters tonight. Well, somewhere in the deep blue me, I'm drowning in your memories. If you change your mind, it won't be hard to find. You know where I'll be, somewhere in the deep blue me. Well, I know my ship is sinking. It's just like that setting sun. Another day I'm waiting for, the day that never comes. I'm holding on to yesterday and never giving up hope. Well, that's the only way to keep my heart afloat. Well, somewhere in the deep blue me, I'm drowning in your memories. If you change your mind, it won't be hard to find. You know where I'll be, somewhere in the deep blue me. Well, somewhere in the deep blue me, I'm drowning in your memories. If you change your mind, it won't be hard to find. You know where I'll be, somewhere in the deep blue me, somewhere in the deep blue me.
Yes, sir. Woo! Man, I like that.
Thank you.
What is that? G, C, D, and F?
It is, yeah.
Nice,
So
man. Yeah.
I see that's takes a guitar player to know a guitar player. You can't hide.
I like that. It's really nice, man. I was thinking, man, I want to learn to play that. That's cool.
That's what I love about country music. I don't think I could ever be a pop star because
how come?
I love country music. How it's it's got the patterns and the songs and the words in the songs. I love a song that tells a story.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I could pull off anything else other than country music.
Do you
anyway.
like songwriting?
I do. I tell you what, I have every single album that I cut. Like we're about to release a new album in a couple months, and every time I go into the studio to record for a new album, I end up thinking this whole album is going to be nothing but my songs.
Right.
I'm totally happy with everything I've written, and then I start getting songs from like real actual Nashville songwriters that are so great, and I'm like, my songs suck, you know? And so I start throwing them out. I have a few on every album.
Cool.
I have a few that I've written, but for the vast majority, I've been very fortunate and blessed to have songwriters that are accredited.
Sure.
I know a bunch that have written for guys like, George Strait, Kenny Chesney, Dierks Bentley.
Now, if you get a song like that, someone sends one along or something, and they're like, "Hey, check this out." Is it a lot to purchase something like that?
So you can go about it one of two ways. You can buy the rights outright, or you can pay based off of per stream, and so you can either buy it outright or purchase the rights out in a percentage format.
Yeah.
So typically, for me, I'd rather do it in the percentage format just because I'm a cheapo. Sure. But I
would too. Yeah.
If that's the case, though, anybody can write and record the song.
Yeah.
And so, which is fine. I know.
I see, yeah.
There was a song that I recorded called "Honky Tonk Highway" that was a #1 for us that somebody else had ultimately recorded. Just because I don't own the whole rights of the song.
Yeah.
So. And the only difference between them and us is we released it to radio and they didn't. So but they still recorded a great version of the song, and there's been, and Lucky Him, we recorded Lucky Him, and then so did Shotgun Rider back in the day. But that's the thing about songwriting; it brings people together. It's its own e-commerce, if you will. You can buy, sell, or trade. So
when it comes to songwriting, though, for you, do you have a process? Do you start with lyrics, or do you start with chord progressions, or how does it come about for you?
I'm a huge word guy.
You are? Okay.
I love the words in a song, and without the words, there's no story. So that's why a lot of the bro country things, the stories weren't really making much sense, and I'm a huge story guy. So
do you like Zach Bryan?
I know.
Good songwriter?
I have heard some of his. That's the thing. I think he's a great songwriter.
Okay. Yeah.
And as far as, I don't know what it is. I think it's his mentality. I think it is why I guess I've seen some of the like where he's gotten pulled over before, and he's kind of snarky with the cops, and that's, to me, I'm like, come on, man, they're just doing their job.
Right.
But if you probably pulled out a video from 2020 Case Hardin, I'd have probably been just as snarky. But I do know there was a guy named Eddie Flint that was playing down here with us during Wild West Fest one day. He opened up for us, and he and Zach Bryan are real close, and they were, I guess, writing together, and Eddie pulled out some of the songs that he and Zach had written together, and they had started playing it there at Wild West Fest, and we got to watch some of them before we got on, and they're just phenomenal.
Wow.
The songs are great, but as far as me ever covering any Zach Bryan or anything like that, or mimicking his songwriting process, I don't think I could ever do that. So.
But I like that you said you're a word guy, you're a lyrics guy. I like
Absolutely.
That.
I big thing with me is I'll get something in my head, write it down. You ought to see the notes app on my iPhone. It's just full of words, and you get the hook. You start with the hook, and then once you start the hook, you get to make up the story in the chorus. What do you want the chorus to say? And then last but not least, I do the verses that will soon describe the chorus. So I work backwards, I guess. I get the hook, then I finish the chorus overall, and then do the verse, and
fill
then
in the verse.
Then my guitar player and I, band leader, will sit together and go out with some with the melody of it. But
do you have like a general idea sometimes? Like you put, like you said, you put the kind of the bones of the song together, but do you have like an idea of what you want it to kind of sound like, whether it's in the minor key, or do you have a general idea or not really?
Absolutely. Typically, whenever I have a song that and it's happy, it's going to be in a major key, and if it's a sadder song, heck, throw some minors in there. So it's cool. It's but I do know, for me, I love a song with a continuous repetition, like a whether it be in chords, in the melody, or in song, in the lyrics. Yeah, I love repetition, and it makes it also, for me as a listener. I remember growing up listening to guys like Brooks and Dunn and George Strait, Tracy Byrd, Tracy Lawrence. Yeah. And we'd go from rodeo to rodeo, and they'd be on the radio. But it was all of their songs were really repetitious in the chorus. That's right. And so that made it to where, as a listener, as a kid, those songs were with me forever. Yeah. And I see like guys like Zach Top that are doing it now, doing the same exact thing, which is a song where the chorus is really repetitious and makes it to where I can remember every word to a Zach Top song, and I've only heard it like 2 or 3 times.
That's very true.
That's the cool thing about country music, is there's science to it all. Yeah.
Who were some of your big inspirations, like growing up? Was it those guys like Brooks and Dunn and George Strait?
It really was. When I started playing country music, I was a huge fan of, like, my parents, whenever they had a boat, we would go out on Lake Nasworthy, and I'd put in songs. Of course, it was so I was in high school then, and so back then we still used CDs, but I had Merle Haggard, Conway Twitty, Gary Stewart, and George Jones CDs that I would like make my parents blast while we were on the lake. Nice. But those I was huge into those guys, and I love Western swing. So cool. Love that old school stuff, and I love Bob Wills' music and Western swing. It's a lot like jazz. Yeah. It's jazz with a fiddle and a steel guitar, and is all Western swing is. So
what about Don Williams?
Don Williams is great.
Man, he's one of my favorites.
I love anybody from that generation. It seems like there wasn't really. Marty Robbins was great, and but then you get into the 90s and guys like Tracy Byrd and Tracy Lawrence and Mark Chestnut, George Strait. Any of those guys I was a huge fan of, and even guys that I call friends. On the way over here, I was listening to Jake Worthington on Spotify, and Jake and I are buddies, and he is one of the best songwriters. I call him the George Jones of our generation. He's great.
Wow. Okay.
Jake Worthington. He and I have a lot in common. He was on The Voice. He was runner-up on The Voice, runner-up winner in I think it was 2015. Okay. But he was great, and still is. And of course, Cody Johnson. We played together, and he's a great singer-songwriter, and now he's doing huge things in Nashville. So that's cool. That's a testament. If you work hard enough, you can get anything you want.
Do you see any of that in your future, going to Nashville and doing anything like that?
I do. Okay. Believe it or not, a lot of our team members. So although we are a Texas-based band, and it's a brand, Case Hardin Music, and it's a brand. It's a Texas-based brand. Okay. But all the team members to help make that happen, like our radio promoter, our PR, our management, duplication, distributing, they're all mixing, mastering. They're all based out of Nashville. Wow. So they almost make it to where you have to go through Nashville. I see, And there's a lot of Texas guys that have their hands in the cookie jar, but if you look at whose boss is the boss of the Texas guy, that's somebody in Nashville. Really? So it's
There's
a lot
always strings back to Nashville.
Back to Nashville. So it's crazy how it works, and
even the red dirt stuff, that's
absolutely
like Texas country. There's still strings tied to Nashville.
Absolutely.
See, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Anybody based out of on the Texas Country Music Association and the Texas Regional Radio Report, they're organizations that are here in Texas, but without the help of those in Nashville, it just wouldn't be the same. So, and they've all been great to us. They're awesome people to work with, and and anybody in Nashville, there's just so many avenues you can go down with being in Nashville. But I know we had talked about there's a big influx in a bunch of Texas artists going to the Grand Ole Opry. So my fingers are crossed that one day soon we'll be able to get up there. That's always been a dream of mine.
Dude. Yes, it's gonna happen.
I appreciate that. Yeah. When we go, you're going with us.
Oh, so. I would love to, man. I'd love to go out there and cover you.
It'd be cool. I know the Grand Ole Opry. There's just so much history there, and I'm a history nerd.
Nice.
And all of that kind of stuff just piques my interest, and so I definitely want to go out there. And I've been to Nashville before, and I was talking to my fiance the other day. It's aren't
you married then?
We're getting married in September.
Oh, September. Okay.
September. So she will not let me forget it. I promise you that.
Yeah, I know. All right, cool.
But, we I know we had talked about after the wedding going over to Nashville and doing some things up there for the new project, because we're trying to release the album somewhere around September, October, release a new album. So
nice.
New rodeo themed album, and why not? Kind of hits home, my whole family rodeoing, and there hadn't been a rodeo theme since guys like Chris Ledoux, who's another one of my heroes. So I'm excited to get it out there, and so before then we'll be heading up to Nashville.
Okay. Man, that sounds exciting. You said September, October, for the album?
That's right.
How many songs, how many tracks are going to be on that, you think?
Got to be 13. Okay. 13 tracks. So
nice.
I really, really wanted to do what Morgan Wallen did, and had like a 37 track album.
Whoa,
but I mean, my attention span just isn't that long. So I feel like 13's pushing it. So
yeah, that's good.
I'm excited. It's gonna be called "If You're Gonna Ride."
Okay.
And we took pictures here during the San Angelo Stock Show and Rodeo.
Nice.
Took some shots out at the ranch, and also at the new Angelo State University rodeo grounds.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
They were nice. Casey Sisk, he's always been a huge supporter of what we do.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, his wife is going to be doing the makeup for my fiance at the wedding. So
nice.
They're family friends, and I'm just excited. Back in my days at ASU, I had campaigned with Dr. May for a lot of years to try to get an ASU rodeo team in the works. Oh, I wanted it so bad.
Yeah.
But at the time, we just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And of course, now I've graduated, moved on, and the very first thing to do is open up an ASU rodeo team.
At least
so
they got it, though, yeah.
I'm so proud. Any
cool.
way that I could help the ASU rodeo team, I'm there.
Yeah.
And so
nice.
Anything to keep that heritage alive, and they talk about the being a cattleman or a horseman or anything with livestock, a rancher, farmer, anybody in agriculture. You keep that livelihood and that lifestyle alive for future generations.
That's right.
That's what I'm all about.
That's right. That's good. So lastly, what do you got coming up where people maybe can catch a show or something? Do you have anything coming up that's either local or semi-local, that people can catch at Cooper's maybe? Or?
Absolutely. We actually just found this out a couple days ago. So in October, we're working on a date. It's going to happen in October. And we're working on a date at the House of Fifi Dubois.
All right.
We're doing a show. We're still trying to figure out if we're going to be able to. I know for sure I'm going to be there, and my band will be there.
Nice.
But what we're working on with Tony, the owner of the House of Fifi Dubois, we're trying to get in. So all of my production, everything's been done with the help of George Strait's, Ace and the Whole guys, and even with Irv Woolsey and company, and they've been a big, huge help. But basically, Straight's team has been helping us along the way, and so I've grown to be real close with those guys.
Nice.
And so we were talking about doing a Ace in the Hole with Case Hardin deal down at the House of Fifi Dubois. So, well, it'll be fun. It'll be a really cool time.
Be really cool, man.
That'll be in October.
That's exciting.
It'll be, and so that'll be the next time that we're playing in San Angelo.
Okay.
And by then we'll have a new album to sell, it'll be kind of like our album release party.
Okay.
That we're doing here. So.
All right, man.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Coopers and I, we've been talking about doing some shows out there, but of course we're running toward the end of the summer lineup, and so we're talking about 2026.
Okay.
But as far as San Angelo, and of course, we always that last weekend get to play the San Angelo Stock Show and Rodeo.
Nice, yeah.
So, but we're playing in October.
Cool.
Right here at the House of Fifi Dubois
Okay.
with the Ace and the whole band.
Man, that's cool.
It'll be nice. I'm just excited, and I'm just happy that those guys let me tag along.
Right? Anybody would be. So, before we get out of here, I ask everybody this. What are 3 things that you're genuinely grateful for right now in your life?
Oh, genuinely grateful. I'm grateful for my sobriety.
Yes.
I'm grateful for my fiance. I would not have her without the sobriety.
That's right.
And I am grateful for my life in country music. That's my life playing country music, and I still would not be able to do that if it weren't for my sobriety. So those 3 things right off the top of my head, I'll tell anybody that. My sobriety, my fiance, and being able to play country music.
Man, that's so good. Very cool. Well, thank you, Case, man. I really appreciate you coming in. This was awesome. Yeah.
I really appreciate it, and I've been a fan for a long time, since the San Angelo Live days. Yeah. So thank you for letting me be on the show.
Absolutely,
and I'm gonna continue to watch it from my bus bunk. So
right,
I'll watch the report. So thank y'all. I really appreciate it.
Of course, we'll be cheering for you. Thanks, Case. Thank you guys for watching the show. Thank you, Case, for coming in and giving your story and telling us what you got coming up next, and for playing some great music, especially that new single. Guys, go download the new single, It Won't Matter Anyway, and we'll be looking forward to that album.